And he's so blunt with you. He tries to bring out what he calls a persona in you. But you want to fight, though, right? That's all you want to do.
Yeah,
so it's not about the guy.
No, I like to fight. I've been boxing since I was 10 years of age. It's what I'm wired to do. You know, he says he doesn't like training. He says I hate training camp. Well, I love training camp. I love it. You know, some of the best times of my life have been whilst I've been in training. You know, while I'm watching my food, while I'm getting early nights. I like training. I like the process of it. I'm enjoying training. I had to force myself to take some time off to come back on Monday. I had to try and force myself to take a couple of weeks off hard training because I've got 10 weeks to the fight now. And it's a good position to be in. I'm fighting fit now. I could fight if the fight was scheduled tomorrow. I'd be ready to do it. And I'm just happy that by the time I get into the fight in December, I'll be 37 years of age. I feel that I'm in good physical condition, and I've got a lot more to give, a lot more to show. I've had time out of the ring, nearly 4 years. I was unfortunately unable to compete because I had injuries, I had operations, I needed to recover. But having that time out, it could be looked as a negative or it could be looked as a positive. I look at it as a positive. It means I haven't taken much punishment and only punches to the head. Even in the fight I lost with Tony Bellew, I wasn't marked up after the fight. I didn't have big black eyes or busted teeth or broken. I was fine physically. There was no problem. I had no aches and pains in my arms after the fight. It was just it was a bad night at the office for me, a real bad night. So I'm not anticipating a bad night on December 17th. I'm anticipating the very best. I've made sure I've got a very intelligent, very experienced coach in Ismail Salas, who will, I believe, assist in bringing out the very best of what I have to offer. He's a guy who truly understands the game, and I've learned so much. Been working with him over the last few months. I've known him for a few years now. Since I did a little bit of work in 2014 with him. And ever since that point, I knew that for me to go to that next level, I'm going to need someone like him. And I'm just fortunate that he's able to come over here and give as much time as he does to me to make me the best version of myself.
You mentioned your birthday. Happy birthday for next week in advance. And you mentioned Ismail Salas. You are 37 now. How many more times?
I'm still 36. Don't wish my years away.
You are going to be 37.
On the 13th of October, I'll be 37.
How easy is it for you? You mentioned to go to another level. You're 37. How easy is it to go to the well again?
It's been a lot easier than I would have anticipated a few years back. It's been so much easier. I think it's just the regular fights, having those first 2 comeback fights, having that fight with Tony Bellew. I've just kept it going. So I haven't had like a big break where I've let myself go and I've got to now get back into shape. As fit as I was for the Tony Bellew fight, I've now just built on that. A lot of fighters get themselves 12-round fit for a date, win the fight, then go away and do whatever they do, and they just decondition their body. I've made sure that I've gone from that fight and I've just gone up. So I'm fitter now than I was on fight night. So I think that's the difference with me. I love it. I like training. I like eating healthy. I like going to bed. I love I'm enjoying the sport more now than I've ever done before. And I can see. I look in the mirror. I can see it in myself that I'm kind of going back. It feels like got in a time machine. I've gone back to when I was in my sort of early 30s.
This fight's going to take place a week before Christmas. Based on what you perceive the outcome to be, what sort of Christmases are you both going to have?
I'm going to have a great Christmas. I don't know about Tony Bellew. I'm going to make sure that, everyone's going to have a good Christmas. It's going to be a real Christmas cracker for people. Anyone who's on the fence about watching it, get it. Do yourself a favour. Watch this fight on Sky Box Office. Get a ticket to come to this fight because it's going to be an early Christmas present for everybody. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a sad one for Tony Bellew. But when he gets that big fat check at the end of it, he should be happy because I can't see what, other than money, I don't know what he's got to gain from this fight. He's already got a win over me. I'm not sure what he's got to gain other than a load of zeros. So hopefully he's in a healthy state to spend that money on whatever Christmas.
David, how does a win set you up for 2018?
I don't know. It depends how that win is done. If I struggle on points and win on a split decision, 2018 don't look that great at all. If I go out there and do what I believe I can do and completely shut him out of the fight and win every moment of every round until he's knocked out, then it could be a healthy 2018. If I finish the fight in good physical condition, then 2018 is starting to look real healthy. So I'm just focused solely on December 17th to make sure that this fight it's not just a win isn't good enough for me. I don't just want to win this fight. It's no. And Ismail Salah said you can't, on any of the scorecards, you can't lose one round. It's not good enough. We're aiming for perfection, and that, I believe, is what you'll get on December 17th.
David, you said you
sorry, you spoke about Ismail Salas. Is he training you in the old school Cuban way? Or are you doing
He's been training me in the same way he trains Felix Savon, Regondo, Gamboa, Casamayor, all these guys. He's trained these guys since they were kids, and we went back to basics. We went back to the footwork drills, the stuff I haven't done. When I worked with a trainer called Jorge Rubio, I worked with him in Miami a few years back when I was European champion, and it's kind of going back to some of that same stuff. But I was only over there for a few weeks. Now I've been doing it for months. I've really got that sort of that Cuban flavour now integrated into my style, and I believe it's bringing out the best of me. So a lot of rhythm stuff, a lot of rotation, pivoting. That I knew it, but I kind of forgot about it. People may have learnt French at school, but how many of them can speak fluently? You've got to practice it to be good at it, and I hadn't been practicing this stuff. So I practice certain things every day. So come fight night, it's deeply ingrained in me, and it's part and parcel, and it's second nature in my style.
David, do you believe if you didn't have the injury in the last fight, you would have beat Tony Bellew?
I genuinely got no clue. I need a crystal ball or an alternate universe to look at that. What happened? You dealt cards in life, and you got to play the best hand with the cards you've been dealt. I was dealt as a hand, and I believe I played the best hand I could with it. It wasn't good enough, so you could drive yourself mad saying, "Oh, I did a left and I was supposed to did a right. I could have done this. So if I'd have bet on this," and it is what it is. We'll never know. I don't care. Hopefully, on December 17th, we'll see what two healthy athletes pitting their skills together can produce. And if he's as motivated as he was for the first fight, then great.
David, you say you're leaner and you're fitter. In the build-up to the last fight, Tony talks a lot about speed, having a speed advantage against you. Obviously, with your injury, that's going to impact your speed. Do you feel now you're fitter, like you're saying, you're in better shape?
What would impact what, sorry?
The speed, your speed overall, having that injury impacted your speed.
Okay, in the first fight.
And what he was saying was that he had more speed than you. We know you've got more power than him, you're stronger than him. Do you feel now you're injury-free, that speed issue isn't going to be a question at all?
We'll see in the first fight. I've been campaigning at heavyweight for 10 years nearly, and he's put some weight on, so he may not be as fast as he was at cruiserweight or a light heavyweight. I've always been fast. It's always been my thing. My thing has been speed. I don't believe he's faster than I am. I don't believe he's technically better than me in any weight, in any position, up close, mid-range, long range. But it's all good and well saying I can say I'm great, I'm this, I'm that, he's no good. He won the last fight. He found a way to win the last fight. He said he would, and he did. So I need to just make sure that I am faster, because if I'm not faster, if I'm as slow as I was in the first fight, I'm going to struggle, plain and simple. So I have to be faster. I'll be very unhappy with myself if my speed is the same as what it was in the first fight.
David, your favourites for this going in, do you still see that as a big void, and then you're that much better than them, or do you think the level's a bit closer now?
I don't. Odds don't really mean anything. People, who's saying that is some guy in an office somewhere. I've been in the ring with him. I've tasted his best shots. I don't believe he has what it takes to beat me over 12 rounds. I genuinely don't. So I don't really care what the odds are. Whether he's a favourite one, the favourite, it's not going to affect what we do in the ring. People obviously watched the first fight, and even with him winning that fight, to put me back as a favourite, they may see something that I see.
And so Bellew said that if he wins, that's the end of your career. How do you feel
if he does win, yeah, no doubt, my competitive boxing career, if I can't beat Tony Bellew, then what business have I got being in boxing? I'm not in boxing just to be a boxer. I've always been in boxing to be the very best and to become the heavyweight champion of the world. I did it at cruiserweight, I did it at heavyweight, and if I can't beat Tony Bellew, then that's not meant to be for me. Then it's over, plain and simple. Nobody will give me a shot. And even if I did get a shot, if I can't beat Tony Bellew in emphatic style, then what's it all about? Then obviously find something else to do that you're good at, because clearly I'm not good at boxing anymore.
And if you do beat him in advanced style, Anthony Joshua in your sights?
It's whoever the world considers number one. He's got a fight coming up next month, you know, or this month rather. It's depending on that. Maybe he loses. I doubt it. I think he's going to win the fight. Maybe he'll have a unification fight with Wilder that's been talked about next year. So it depends who's number one. Whoever's considered number one is the guy that, you know, if I'm victorious, I'll obviously campaign to fight.
David, how important is it to establish your jab early and win them early rounds?
It's important every fight. If you don't establish a dab, the likelihood is you can't land your rear hand, your power hand. So you know, same thing works for him. He couldn't do what he did without making sure that the distance and range is there in the first fight. So I think for any fighter getting in, making sure that you've got solid distance, making sure you've got the range, making sure your timing's good, are all sort of musts in any fight whatsoever.
David, there's been a bit of scorecard controversy recently in big fights. What do you make of all that, bearing in mind that the different styles that you guys both have might play to the strengths and weaknesses of different scoring judges?
I'm not fussed whatsoever about it. He could have his whole team scoring the fight because it's not going to be needed. So unfortunately, one of those fighters. I've only ever heard the final bell 3 times in 30-odd fights. So I'm not worried about the judges. You know, 26 of my 28 victories haven't heard the final bell, so I'm not too worried about the